I know Rob is driving, so I was on an earlier Zoom with him, so I guess we're
I'm
waiting for his.
here. I'm here.
Oh, you
How
got
you
out of the
doing?
car.
Yes. So, good morning, everybody. I wanted to start today's conversation. Chopper, amongst other things, does two things that stand out to me from the short time that I've worked directly with him, and they're all client experience related. And I wanted to start by having Chopper or Jennifer share with us why you were using Updater, and tell us not only what it does, but if you could also share what how you present that value, whether they utilize it or not in listings and buyer conversations to drive more value.
Okay. So listen, we're always trying to add to our value proposition. You know, there's nothing worse than when somebody's like, oh, they're a realtor like you. I'm like, well, the only thing that we have in common is we have a real estate license, and that's where the comparison ends. So the more value add that you can present to either a seller or a buyer, the better it is for you. Updater I embraced when he first came out, I think in 2012. I met him at the R4 conference. He doesn't like me to say this, but I call it the Geico of moving. The gentleman was relocating from San Francisco to New York, and it took him 4.5 hours to update all his subscriptions, his cable, his internet, his utilities, et cetera, all the things that,
Even mail, right?
yes. And by the way, on a personal note, you get a extended forwarding when you go directly online to USPS versus doing the old fashioned way and filling out a card and giving it to the people at the post office. So that's just a side note. So he, after he went through this process, he's like, it's got to be an easier way. So he put together this software and this program. So I've been paying for it, and I only found out at this R4 that it's free now, because where they make their money is they get a fee when somebody would sign up for cable or what have you. Our clients that do use it embrace it and enjoy it, because it does save them a lot of time. You know, like in our market over here, we have 3 electric providers. We have, well, actually more than that, but the predominant ones are Rockland Electric, PSE&G, Jersey City Power and Light. But then when you're over in Butler and Bloomingdale, they have their own town-owned Butler utilities. So all these utilities are listed on there. You have to put in your, your name and your zip code, where you are and where you're going from. So the clients do enjoy it. It's like any other technology. Sometimes it's the more mature the client, the more challenge it is for them, or less likely that they will use it. But it's definitely a plus. It's a differential. I don't know of really anyone around here using it. So, whatever you can offer that's better than the next person, do it. I mean,
so Chopper, is it fair to say it saves you and Jennifer time in the process?
oh yeah, it saves us a lot of aggravation. The problem is, and Jen will share with that, is sometimes we got to stay on top of them. But Jen's got it set up. If you let her share, she can take anybody through it. Does anybody have any questions at this moment?
Oh, I'll ask a question before we transition to Jen. Is how do you present it as a value add before the client hires you?
It's part of my listing presentation. And I tell them, we pay for this and it's free to you, and it makes your life a lot easier. One less major complication. in selling or buying a house. Again, I used the Geico quote. I said it's the Geico for moving. Takes you 15 minutes. So you don't have to wait on hold with PSE&G for an hour and a half, because the only time they pick up the phone is if you tell them you got a gas leak. So it's a lot, it's streamlined, it's more efficient. It's definitely a time saver and less stress.
And it would also apply if they were moving to North Carolina, they can help them, your seller, get set up wherever they're ultimately going as well. It's not a local company.
Correct. They're set up throughout the United States.
And Bobby, the name of the company is Updater. And I was actually talking to the gentleman when Chopper came by and said that he used it at the R4 event. And the service from a broker level, if we get everybody on, is free. And you know, Chopper has seen value in it, that he's been paying for it for 12 years. So if we, and I'm pretty sure we're going to move forward with it regardless. I think the process is the client gets an email. If they don't want to use it, they don't have to. If you understand it, you can share that with your sellers moving out of the area, and also with your teammates that work with buyers. It's also a big plus, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's both sides of the transaction can benefit from using it.
Fantastic. And for our Florida team, it's also in Florida. I don't know if it's going to be the same rollout date for it, but it also works. I believe all 50 states, or at least the 48 contiguous.
Yeah, so
you-
all the people moving from Jersey to Florida can use it. It's anywhere. It's anywhere. I hope everybody likes it so they don't have to pay for it anymore.
So did Jennifer want to share anything in terms of how she utilized the service, Chopper?
Yeah, she's going to present right now. Jen's going to walk us through it like she is Miss Home Buyer or Seller. All right, Jen, you got the screen. Go ahead.
Sure. So hi, everyone. I just will show you like the features of Updater. I'll show you the email as it will come into your consumer, and how you use it and everything like that. So
And before you do that, can you just share with us what your role in the team is so that everybody gets a little understanding?
Sure. So I'm our team administrator. I work mostly on the listing side. So Chopper, when he has a new listing and he's going to be selling the house, I just walk the sellers from A to Z through the entire process, from the start date to the end and beyond that. So if I could also have a sharing ability, that would help too.
Let me see here. All right, you're now the host.
Thank you. Okay, so as Chopper was saying, the creator of Updater was going through a move. He realized there's no online portal that could basically make it a seamless move that covers all the features. So he actually quit his job to build Updater. So there's basically 6 key features. You can forward your mail, which I did when I moved. It worked really well. It was for an extended period. You could set up internet and cable right through the app. It tells you what exact utility providers are at your new home. So you're not searching for all these phone numbers and not knowing how to transfer them. You could reserve movers right through the app. They give you a list and you can book it for that day. You can order boxes and supplies. And maybe my favorite part, they give you coupons for like Overstock, Wayfair, all these websites for your client to use, which I thought was pretty awesome. So this is the email that comes in. So it's branded with Remax. Welcome to Updater. And they give you the first step for your client is to forward mail. So that's how you would click this, and then it brings you to create your account. So here you could see brought to you by Thomas Chopper Russo. You can brand this with your own information. Remax Select Oakland, email, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, your picture. And again, you could see on the top left here, it's branded to Remax. And then it tells you your different tasks that you could do to move. So forward your mail. You confirm your address. So I don't want to go through and do this and mess up my mail, but you see current address and new address, you would click looks good and go through that whole process, and your mail forwarding would be set up. This is booking movers. So what can we help move? All your stuff or just heavy stuff? What do you need? Do you need helpers and a truck? Do you just need helpers? And then Updater comes with Dolly. So that's the service they use. You have to fill in all your details. And this is really cool. Like if you have hardwood floors, so they know to be careful. Do they need to use stairs? Is there an elevator? So you'd go through this whole process. And you could add photos and all that. So again, I don't want to go through the whole thing, but that is how your client would use it. To book movers. Get boxes and supplies. I thought this was pretty cool. You could get a whole kit for depending on what type of home you have, 1-bedroom studio, 2-bedroom, and look at everything they give you. The boxes, reusable boxes, packing paper, tape rolls, markers. So you can order that right from here, free shipping in 3 days. And the essentials. So as we were telling you, you can set up internet and TV right through the app. So either if you want to do a brand new service or you're transferring, they tell you what's available. And this is definitely accurate because I know I only have Xfinity at my home. So Xfinity is what I would have to use. And they tell you like the different plans that you can get, and you can check out right through this website. So there's no calling the internet companies, which nobody wants to do. And then utilities. So basically, since you might have to give more information, they're not going to have you enter your social or anything like that, but they tell you exactly what utilities are at your new home. So you can visit the website and you can make those calls. So again, the electric that's at my home, this is accurate. The gas is accurate. And water, they said you're good to go. You don't need to set this up since I have the town water. And then, as I was telling you, my favorite part is the deals. So, I mean, I think this is a really good feature. Everyone has something to buy when they move into a home. So Target, Sparefoot, all these different deals that your client can use, Overstock. So they would click unlock deal and then go, and they'd be able to use that to purchase something they need for their home. And I think that was it for our list. So mail, internet, utilities, movers, boxes, and deals. And again, this is the dashboard. And they only will send you emails like about your process, like, oh, don't forget to do this. And did you finish booking your movers? So they're not spamming you or anything like that. But does anyone have questions or want to see any other feature or have me go back to something?
Like, how do you get started on this? Where do you go? Do you go to like an updater.com or something? Like, what is this?
So yes, this is for the client side. Once you get that email welcome, this is how they get in. They click forward their mail and then they create the account. The agent side looks different. So on the agent side, you would log in and send the invitations to your clients.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jen, you want to show how, like, why don't you send me an email as a client? Can you take us through that?
What do you mean, like from the real estate side?
Yeah, let's show, like, I'm selling 123 Banana Street. So, I'm the client. I'm selling my house. I'm gonna move to Florida. So show them what you do on your end and then take it from there.
I got you.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, Jen and Chopper, it's Denise. Good morning. I just wanted to share something. Once we move this to a more corporate side, the invitations will be automatic to the customers and the send outs will be automatic. So the individual realtor or admins don't need to be worried about doing that step. It'll be done automatically for them. I just wanted to share that with you. Thanks, Jen.
So Denise, so we'll be copied on it when it goes to Mr. and Mrs. Smith at 123 Banana Street?
Yes, sir. At Banana Street, you will be copied.
Okay, all right, cool. All right,
So-
that's even easier. One less step. I'm liking this, that I don't have to pay for it. One less step, right, Jen? This is good.
Yeah, this will save us time, but I'll show you just so you do see what it looks like, how we do it right now. But who are you sending it to? Their old or new address. You don't need to even know both. If you know one, you can get it set up. Moving date and a customizable moving message that will come into their email. So you can delete parts, add something new, and then you send it. So, and also you can set up your branding. And look up utilities here.
Jen, Chopper, I wanted to share the branding of the individual agent will still be available.
Oh,
So
great.
as we move, yeah, as we move, I just wanted to ease everybody's mind. Thanks, Jen.
So Evelyn asked a question, how do they sign up? And Denise, I think once we turn the switch, there's nothing they need to do, correct?
That is correct. This is going to be so automatic. It's like having that robo assistant. It's going to be done, but they will still have the communication that they'll know when their client is being communicated with, but it'll be nice and automatic. We'll have pulled interaction with digital data.
Fantastic. I have a couple other questions. One is, Jen, do a lot of people miss the email when it comes out and you have to tell them, hey, if you want to see who they are, go to this email from Updater, or do you find most people discover it?
I don't find that most people miss it. When I did it myself, it didn't go to spam. It went right to my inbox. And we do also send a video with it saying like, oh, here's one of your final steps for closing is to set up your updater. It will help you with all your moving related tasks. And that will also give them the heads up. And then they know from Chopper's initial listing presentation and from other reminders throughout the process.
Is that a canned bomb, or is that like a link to a YouTube video?
Our team has BombBomb. So we use BombBomb.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make some new ones. I was much heavier then.
Okay, I'm just gonna go through can you add, Sharon Flood had a question from Pembroke Pines. Can you add does Updater vet vendors in the, and it piggybacks off my question. If you have like a handyman or a painter or a common trade that a lot of people use when they move in, or a carpet cleaner or cleaning service, can we add that onto here? This is to Chopper, Jen, or Denise. If so, can it be like specific? Because obviously a cleaner in Oakland is not going to be any good for somebody in Monmouth County.
The answer I have, and Jen might know more than I, being she's actually worked on this, but I think the corporate and individual, there might be some variations. My understanding though is corporate's going to have more bells and whistles. And the answer is yes.
Okay, so like, home insurance, potentially information on warranty, a painter, a handyman. I guess a lot of the trades that somebody transacting, even a junk guy to get rid of the garbage when they're moving out, right?
Yes, and Rob, my understanding from the work that I've done so far on a more global picture is we'll have the corporate page that has some, but then I did ask for Chopper and Jen's sake, will they be able then on an individual side have their own? And the answer I received was yes, because obviously different agents use different resources when it comes to maybe the handyman, the electrician.
And Denise, is this designed to get the data from .loop
Yes, sir.
so that it eliminates the extra step? And that, for New Jersey, that makes it simple. In Florida, we're not all using .loop, so we'll have to, maybe do that as tier 2 of the rollout so that we don't trip up on that.
Rob, to your point, I'm aware that Florida was on a different system than .loop. And yes, once we have this rocking and rolling in the very, very, very near future, then we'll be able to move on to Florida with their operating systems.
Fantastic. How do we, so Eric, you asked, how do we make sure the agent gets promoted? It would be automatic, because on the corporate side, it would be pulling your information from whatever source, if we're using app files, .loop, whatever platform we're using, it's going to pull your name along with it. And then if you set up the profile, it will be branding you all throughout the process.
And Rob, just to ease everybody's mind on the realtor side of things, they're not going to have to put any more data in there than they're basically doing already. There might be 1 or 2 other fields, but this is so simplistic and so digitally tied that it's going to be seamless, but they will receive the notifications.
Gotcha. Any other comments from you, Jen, as far as using it?
Just that our clients really appreciate it. They have told us before how much time it saves them, that they love the platform. I think people like having everything in one spot. So during this whole process, they really love using the app. I've used it before, and I definitely thought it was a really good value add. So I think everyone would really like to use it. But that's it. If anyone wanted me to go back or show any other step, just let me know. But that was it from my end.
Mr. Chopper, any other comments on this?
Listen, I always try to add to my so-called bag of tricks, something to make us different. We have too much in our business. Me too. I mean, I relate to like when I was doing drone photography and it was illegal, and clients would say, "Is that a drone?" And be like, "No, sir, that's a 4-prop helicopter. Drones are illegal." So always trying to get ahead of the curve, trying to do something new and be proactive and give better value to what we do. I don't like to be compared to another agent. I try to do things differently and better and just make the process easier. That's why we have Jen. Like Jen says, she takes them A to Z. So this is just another value add. And I love the proposition now that I get a value add for free after I've been paying for it all these years. So this is good.
So Chopper, I'm going to take a moment and have you just share with everybody on the call what your service area is. And you do commercial and residential, so that if anybody has a referral, please share that with them so that they know who you are.
So with commercial, there's really no boundaries. Actually, we're supposed to be getting a listing down in Pennsauken, which is quite a schlep from here. So, but most of our commercial is Hudson County, Bergen County, Passaic County, and Morris County. I don't even know what county Pennsauken is, but we're going there. So as far as residential goes,
Atlantic.
Atlantic, thank you. Thanks, Dan. So predominantly with the residential, because of my experiences, we were furniture manufacturers in Union City since 1921. So Hudson County is a no-brainer. Bergen, we live in, Passaic borders us, and Morris is right down the street. So,
And you even have a team member with a listing in, is it the Bronx?
no, he lives in the Bronx.
Well, no,
Oh,
Dan, where,
yes. Oh, that's right. Dan has a listing in the Bronx. And I know he's working on one in Stony Point, New York.
all right, so, you know, in terms of referring business out, you know, I can vouch for Chopper and, you know, his reputation. And he wouldn't take anything that, you know, he wouldn't be able to give 5+ star service to. Before I pivot to the next conversation at 10 o'clock, I wanted to just share with the group, when I go to R4 and I say I'm from New Jersey, probably half the people say, hey, you know Chopper? And, you know, the office in Plantation that I bought, you know, I sent the picture of, you know, our dinner to Mark Orem, and Mark's like, oh, say hi to Chopper. I'm like, how do you know so many people, Chopper? And I'm sure that's intentional. And if you don't mind taking a couple minutes, maybe to share how you network maybe at R4 and the RE/MAX system to be extremely visible and grow your business.
I mean, listen, you just treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, we're always like, our whole team is all based upon giving back and helping others. Mark, I know from going to the commercial symposiums out in Denver back in the day. And I think I think Patrick will tell you, we referred a commercial client to him down in Florida, you know, and I owned a bunch of properties I still own a bunch of properties in Florida, but I was mostly in Delray and Boca. Now I
And
got
do you
some
do
nice-
Do you do
Go
the
ahead.
elite retreat too?
Yes, I just did the first one this year. That's where I met Carlos. Out in California. That was good. I had never done one before, and that was definitely a good event. I plan on going to the one this year when they let us know.
And, you know, so I just want to, you know, just put that out there that, you know, some of us, you know, hey, we take a pen and paper, we want to learn some stuff, or maybe we just want to have a little bit of fun getting away, but the opportunity to network is tremendous, and to use the system. And, you know, Chopper, I'm not making it up, but like everybody I know, say I'm from New Jersey, oh, you know Chopper. So maybe it's your unique name, maybe it's your aura that you have, but that's pretty great. We could probably even do another session on how to work a convention or how to work the system. I want to pivot the conversation. Jen, if you're welcome to stay on. I don't know if we need Jen for anything about the events. Chopper, does she help
Yes.
you set them up? All right, so Jen, you
Listen,
can't leave.
I wouldn't be here and smiling if it wasn't for Jen. Okay, so I need Jen. Yes.
So when Chopper and I first started talking, you know, he was in the midst of putting together an event where you basically reserved an entire ski mountain for your clients.
Yeah, we tease our advertising said we bought a ski mountain. Then we have a little asterisk and says we just bought it for the day. So that we set up for all our VIP clients. And it was, we got lucky. The snow came that week, and it was, for the first time doing it, it was fabulous. We have it booked for the last Tuesday in January from now and forever until we quit.
So in Florida, that might be, I bought a cabana for the day for our friends down in Florida. And Chopper, how many people do you get to show up to these events approximately?
On this one, I think we had a little bit under 100, which for a first event is good. The mountain says we can bring 200. We expect to get that many next year. It's all about giving back. It's all, goodwill. We stopped using the term past clients. These are clients that, I like to use the analogy because I've been married a few times that, like when we're doing the transaction, we're engaged. When we finally do the transaction, we're married, and then we have a lifetime of happiness afterwards. So that analogy hits home for me because I've done it a few times, but we try to give back and we try to keep people involved. It's a lot of fun. We make some lifetime friends out of this, which is one of the benefits of what we do.
Fantastic. And I know you also network with a lot of local businesses. There's food named after you.
Yes, there is a #1 seller at JD's Deli, the Chopper breakfast wrap. Wilkes Deli is the Chopper tuna melt. Kachina 357 is the Chopper broccoli rabe sandwich. There's the hot plate at Segovia. There's the Chopper hot dog because I taught him how to make the onions. And then up at the Lakeside Diner in Ringwood, there's a Chopper burger. 2 8-ounce triple ground sirloin burgers with an egg, Taylor ham, bacon, and lettuce. You get 2 Lipitor's with that baby.
Yeah, that's for vegetarians, right, Chopper?
Oh, yeah.
So Chopper, how do you go about getting people to name entrees after you or menu items?
We sell a lot of business. We've sold several businesses. Some of the businesses I've helped with my connections in town. And, it just happened by accident. And because they see the hard work we put into making these transactions. And I had a client Sunday text me a picture of the Chopper breakfast wrap. And they're like, "Is this you?" And I said, "This is called my stealth marketing. I pray to the Lord above. I get to be a full menu before he calls upon me." I'm waiting for the guy to name a veal chop after me because I love veal chops.
And what other before I go into events, what other like community outreach do you have?
Well,
Event.
I'm the chairman of Oakland Public Events, so that puts me involved in a lot of things. We do the Easter egg hunt, the carnival, fever pitch, the Memorial Day parade, Toys for Tots, the Christmas tree menorah lighting, and now through the mayor's urging, we have a truck lights. So that started last year with only about 30 trucks. They expect about 100 this year. We're involved in the Junior Police Academy. We got Arbor Day. We got the Green Day, the styrofoam recycling, the shredding. Janet, anything I'm missing? There's a bunch of things we do.
Did you say the holiday light competition?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That one's
have-
that's one of the best.
Yeah, you're doing it this year. I have to recuse myself. I got a lot of arrows shot at me. How come? Because I go around and I give them the money. We broke up the town into 3 sections. There's one grand prize winner who can never repeat. And yeah, I got yelled at this year, so I got to send somebody else. But that's fun. That's fun. You know what it is? I kind of fell into it because when it comes to marketing, I'm a little on the lazy side. So instead of saying we sold a zillion houses or whatever, I'll promote like the ladies auxiliary for the fire department, their pancake thing. We got somebody with strawberries. The Mothers Club has a comedy night, et cetera, et cetera. So it makes my life a little easier. But I'm involved personally in a lot of nonprofits.
Chopper, I just wanted to also mention with those signs for the holiday lights, it's amazing how many lawns those are on, right? So, they have the logo and they have everything on it too throughout the town. So, and it stays for a couple months at least?
Well, they recycle them, they keep them, which is good because like we got the garage sale coming up May 8th. So I provide all the signs. Sometimes I talk Tommy into doing it for me. But yeah, it's nice. You know, we're just giving back. It's a lot of fun.
So you sponsor a town garage sale day?
Yes, yeah. I mean, we don't do it. I mean, I do the ad and then I run around with all the signs. So we put
Great.
the signs in front of the houses.
A great excuse to get in contact with your clients, right?
Yes, yeah, you know, and then you sometimes it's, you know, we just have a conversation, but everybody always wants to talk about real estate, so. Or they ask about the dog, where the dog is.
And what other paid events do you have? Do you like sponsor a picnic? Do you have like a booth at the Oakland Day if they have like a fall festival?
You know, it's a catch-22 for me at the Oakland Carnival, because I am involved in so many different organizations that all I can do is do the ticket sales, but the Oakland community or Oakland Chamber of Commerce will have a table this year, so I'm hoping that my team members will be able to attend that. But you know, because of all the organizations I'm in, I really can't help them at the carnival because we got to run the carnival.
Do you have any other like events where it costs you $2,000, you get 50 people, 100 people, type of events like that?
What the hell? Jenny's making me laugh. 2,000. Nothing's 2,000. We do the last Sunday of June. We do a theme type of event, another VIP event. This year's a Hawaiian barbecue. So we invite all our clients and prospective clients to attend. My wife's a great event planner. She's already working on the stuff for the Hawaiian luau. And then we have a chef there. We'll have maybe a DJ or a band. Oh, go ahead, Jim. So last year we did a Texas barbecue. So we had the bull, and there's some of the, I forgot where we grabbed that cow from. And then we had our buddy that was a chef from the Ritz-Carlton do all the catering. That
And
stuff on the
Jennifer,
right.
Jen,
What's
do you
that?
take credit for the perfect weather?
Yeah, was this a good day, Chopper? I feel like one of them recently wasn't great, but we still had a good turnout.
Choptoberfest was bad, but no, we scored on this. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we got a race car over there. I forgot about that.
Wow. So that's a lot of planning too, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Thank goodness my wife got involved. She's much better than me. That's Chef Tommy there. Then we had a band, we had a country western band. Those events will run about with tips and everything about 12 grand. So there we'll get over 100. We had the cornhole. There's Tommy and Benny. So it was fun.
And Chopper, do you get any co-sponsors, or do you cover that expense yourself?
No, I've been just doing it ourselves. I guess we could, but you know, it's just the way we're doing it. You
Wonderful.
know, I want it to be more of a fun event than a business event. There's Patrick.
And
You know,
how many people would you say show up?
I don't know, Jen. We had over 100 on this one, right?
Yeah, over 100 here.
So you're roughly, you know, probably have your fixed cost, maybe $70 a person, $60 a person. And if you're running a business on scale, you know, that is a lot less expensive than doing 100 pop buys to go meet with people or taking people out for breakfast, coffee, or whatever. It really, it really consolidates your face time and your individual time in front of people, which I think is valuable. You know, is there anyone on our call here that does events similar to this? not all at once. So, and you don't need to spend, Chopper, how many transactions do you do a year approximately?
We did 155 last year.
So if you're a soloist doing, 8 to 20, yeah, you could probably cut that down by 80 to 90%. You could do a barbecue in your backyard, invite people over. And there's a secret that I believe that I want to ask you if you feel is relevant. If you have 100 people show up and you invite at 400, do you still get credit for the 300 people that don't show up for inviting them? I mean,
Oh,
don't they
yeah,
think of you?
people come up to me and apologize that they couldn't attend for whatever reason, you know what I mean? So it's all goodwill.
Yeah, so I really think that that's one of the things that sometimes we don't think about is, if you get invited to an event and you can't make it, you're like, wow, that guy Chopper is always inviting me to stuff. You stay top of mind in a positive way. And I'm going to ask this might be a Jen or it might be a Chopper question. When you do these events, how do you keep track of who's coming? And if you have 100 people that say they're coming, do you usually have 110 that show up or 85 that show up?
Jen, what would you
So-
say?
Yeah, we've been getting into QR codes like with Google Forms. So whether it's like a postcard, they scan it and RSVP, people are really good about doing that. They just fill out the form. And then just word of mouth, like if someone tells Chopper, I'll note it on our list. So yeah, we try to stay organized like that with knowing how many are coming. I guess like if it's a nice day, we get close to that number. The day like that it was raining for one Choptoberfest, maybe it was a little less than we had on our RSVP, but yeah, we try to keep organized like that.
And where do you do Choptoberfest?
We do most of our events at the Knights of Columbus, which is right off the ramp of the highway 287 by us. And Choptoberfest started because I am involved in so many nonprofits. And if anyone's been involved in those, they'll notice that 10% of the people do 95% of the effort. And what I found was a lot of people will move into Oakland that didn't know that our fire department and our ambulance was volunteer. So I personally don't care to be on an organization that meets in the summer. I like to be off in July and August. So what we do is we get about, 15, 18 of the nonprofits, the Mothers Club, Fathers Club, the Elks, the Knights, Oakland Education Foundation, Oakland Public Events. And we put them underneath the big tent. And I call it the one-stop shopping for to be involved. One-stop shopping of all the nonprofits. And this year, like Jen said, it rained, but it was kind of ironic. It fell on 9/11. And there was on their way back up to Rhode Island, there was a battalion and they stopped to get gas at the Exxon. And it was an overcast day and they kind of parked in our lot with all their trucks. And we're like, you guys hungry? And they're like, yeah. So we fed all the guys from the Army. It was good. And it was ironic that it was on 9/11. So, oh yeah, there they are. So they took up a lot of our parking. So there's the Knights of Columbus. We do everything outside. Off to the right there is where we have the food. Oh, that's right. My wife did it different this year. You see that the 5 different tents there? That was for all the nonprofits. And then you see the bouncy castles. And then we had the video trailer. So
And
we're
Chopper, do you have to get a separate like insurance endorsement when you do it, like the Knights of Columbus or some events?
no, we're underneath their umbrella. The problem with the Knights is we're gonna lose some of that property, so we might have to look at a different venue. Hey, Jen, go back one. I just want to show them like the exit ramp to the highway. See the highway right there? That's why it's such a great location for us. And then we'll take our open house signs and we'll cover over them and just put up a sign, Choptoberfest, or a little bit of directional. So,
So, I'm gonna just say, being a math person, Chopper, like, all those face-to-face interactions that you have with people, even if, a lot of your clients only go once a year, that's invaluable because you stay top of mind as opposed to email, mail, and other type of activities, in my opinion. And if you were to say, if you took everybody out for a cup of coffee, how much of your time would you be using up? I think these events are economical because everybody needs to know what your hourly return is for the time that you invest. I mean, if you were to try to have face-to-face meetings with all these people, it would be prohibitively expensive based upon the cost to spend an hour with Chopper or the opportunity cost. And how much time is done in setting these up? Would you guesstimate?
well, we start marketing about 60 days prior to the event through emails and direct postcards. Like Choptoberfest, we invite everybody. So that's easy to do blasts, social media blasts on that. As far as the other events, the skiing and the themed event, last year was Texas, this year is Hawaiian barbecue. That'll be direct mail and direct emails to our clients. And then the team members will also call their clients to personally invite them. What's nice about that, you're not calling them to sell something, this and that. You give them back, and they appreciate that. Listen, anytime you get dialogue going, it always segues to real estate. So you never know where it'll take you.
And I was actually down here in Southeast Florida. I was out with an agent door knocking her personal neighborhood, and she's doing a monthly potluck event where people come, they bring food. She's been averaging 30 to 50 people, and she said everybody has such a great time. It's hard to get rid of them at the end of the event. It's from like 6 to 9:30, and it's 11 o'clock, and people are still out there talking. And it's very, very inexpensive for her to do that if you're on a budget. And it was a excellent reason for her to go talk to the neighbors, right? It's not, hey, I'm your neighbor, give me a listing, right? It's, hey, I just wanted to stop by, introduce myself. We were toying with how to, share the event. She was a little bit awkward texting it, just thinking that they might not want to give the phone number, although most people did. Sometimes if it was a tentative conversation, she's like, hey, take a picture of the invite. And, maybe next time we'll even have a physical handout that we can provide, and maybe have a QR code to RSVP. I love that idea, Chopper. And then when they RSVP, hopefully you get their phone number and email, and then you can build up that database. But I thought that was a great idea, limited in, I'm sure it doesn't cost her more than $150 probably to have the house cleaned and cook up one dish, and everybody brings something. It's a phenomenal event.
I know a lot of agents throughout the country that have client appreciation at their homes. And that's an inexpensive way too. But as far as the QR code, I got to give credit to Jen on that. And we tried to do every one of our any of our ads with QRs.
So, other things to think about is, if you are working with other, affiliates, maybe you can invite them to some of the events and cross promote them. to save some money. But I think the main thing is just to do it, you know, have the courage, set something up, do it, see how it works, and then make adjustments. Okay, if your budget is low because now is, you know, a little bit slower than it normally is, that's more the reason why we need to have these outreaches. And you know, home events. I know there's an agent that does a Mardi Gras event in one of our offices. They do it at their house. They get 2 high school or college kids. They pay like $100 each or $150. You know, it's like a white glove service. They get the food from a local restaurant and they actually promote that when they advertise it. And what's better than, you know, 30 or 40 clients coming to your house talking about what a great job you did to each other and keeping you top of mind while they're having a cocktail, some good food, right? That's like positive reinforcement. And I'm sure business is going to come from that, you know, absolutely 100%. Does anybody on the call do any type of client appreciation events that you'd care to share to give us some different ideas? Anybody? Well, hopefully next time we do this, Chopper, there will be a lot of people saying, I got some great ideas from here. I don't know if
Rob?
anybody has it. Yeah.
I have a couple that might be helpful. I parlayed a client appreciation event with a pampered chef. So literally Pampered Chef came and so they fed everybody and I did it based on living healthy. And it was really a much bigger success than I had anticipated. Just wanted to share, you can rent civic centers fairly inexpensively. Also with July coming up, you can do a lot of, something I did in the past was like Christmas in July, where you could actually add vendors, jewelry vendors, art vendors, pocketbook vendors, and, you know, have people come through and just serve coffee, tea. I did a mini wine tasting where I actually just bought several cases of wine myself and had wine and chips and had somebody come who wanted to show off their music. So just wanted to toss a couple inexpensive ideas out.
No, that's some good opportunities or good alternatives that you can you know, deploy to be budget friendly.
Oh, Rob,
And-
ice cream truck. Where you tell everybody meet you at a park and you rent out an ice cream truck. That's always been a really successful and not overly expensive is the specialty ice cream trucks.
I did a similar thing at a park in Plantation. That was part of my farm area where I had the Remax balloon set up. We had a little kiosk set up with a table with some listings and some information, a lot of snacks. And people would stop by and pick up brochures, ask a ton of questions. And we used to get a lot of leads that way, getting buyers.
Fantastic. All right.
For the wine tasting, I know there's several different liquor stores and wine stores that would do it for you for free.
Got to be kind of careful though when you talk about alcoholic beverages when you're doing a kiosk or parks. So what we did is we just did cheese, cookies, just the basic stuff. We spent maybe, I don't know, $150, and we got stuff from Publix, nice little platter, and made it very simple because a lot of kids were there, and there was a lot of trucks there, like for food trucks there. So, but we just wanted to attract. With the balloon, it made it wonderful because it really made people stop by and ask questions. And we did get some leads doing that.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing. I just had an idea and it just escaped me. What was my idea I had? So you're talking about
wine?
Oh, you know what? Here's something that I'm observing. I think the way to create a new client in many cases is through their pet. Okay, Chopper, I noticed your branding, you know, you have your dog in some of your branding. So many homeowners, as I go around neighborhoods, you know, have one or multiple dogs. And I think maybe even having an event for dogs, as crazy as that might seem, might be a way to connect like-minded people and build upon your brand. I don't know, you can tell me I'm crazy or if you like that.
No,
let
That's
me know.
great.
It's a
That's
great
a-
idea. We did that. We rented out the dog park and we had a beautiful dog contest. And we had probably 175 people come. We invited the mayor, but he couldn't make it. He sent a council person to do the judging, so we weren't the judge. And we gave out gift cards to Chewy. You know, that's where they can order dog food or dog gifts or kitty gifts or whatever. But it was a really great event.
Yeah, it's a
We
great
also
idea.
had we also had at the same event, we invited the a couple of associations that to give away puppies, you know, from the shelters
Like for
and
adoption.
dogs. Yeah, and we got rid of, but all the puppies were adopted and 2 of the bigger dogs. So it was a really great event. And then it was covered by.
So another thought I had was maybe to do like a holiday event. I know that we did photos with Santa a bunch of times in our offices. And, you know, we had it up to anybody in the office could invite their clients to come by. And we gave, you know, complimentary photo prints as a community service, as a community event. And some of those events, we even collected like food or clothing for charity and donation, like a coat drive or a food drive. So any last comments? We might be finished a minute early.
One more event. I have a couple of agents this year that are going to do a pumpkin patch event. They're getting a load of pumpkins from the farmers, and they're putting out barrels of hay. They're going to dress. It's a husband and wife team. They're going to dress as scarecrows. And they're going to have a photographer there to take pictures of the kids. And of course, the kids get a free pumpkin.
Perfect. That's a great, any other comments? If not, I want to, you know, sincerely thank Chopper and Jen for, you know, giving their time to share with us and, you know, remind you to implement some of the things that we talked about. And if you have any opportunities to share any business back and forth, please do so. Bergen County, primarily for residential, or do you do other areas, Chopper?
Yeah, Bergen, Passaic, Morris, and Hudson.
Bergen, Passaic, Morris, and Hudson on residential, and from what you told me, basically the entire state for commercial.
Oh, yeah. We travel
All right.
all over.
Well, thank you, everybody. Jen, you were, you did not disappoint. You were very, very well prepared. You pulled stuff up we didn't even talk about. So I thank you for that. Everybody have a productive week and hope to see you on Friday.
Take care, Ryan.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Chopper. It was great.
Anytime. Bye now.
Thanks, Chop.
Thanks. See you later.